name is Jason.
I'm Becky Rose.
And this is Pair of Geeks. And today we have a new Encounter Ideas video with a twist. For today there's going to be a little bit of your participation.
That's right, we are going to try an experiment here on Pair of Geeks by running the world's biggest role-playing game. You are a player. Over the coming months, we are going to be playing the biggest role-playing game ever. And at the end of this video, you get to choose what happens next. And when you make that choice, that will determine the next video for both the player characters that hopefully you'll grow to love and become attached to as we kill them off, and also the Encounter Ideas video that follows it. So join us for however long this series takes or lasts until it doesn't have enough viewers and dies, as we adventure into the world of... we haven't named it yet.
Welcome to the world of Pariah. And this encounter is going to be based in a forest temple.
The adventure begins on the road, having travelled from the town of Foreshadow upon Geek. The road is littered along the way with these little rest stops, and at this one, a merchant has taken camp. This is one of the smaller rest stops, featuring just a bench and a little fountain. There are 4 merchants here, although 2 of them are donkeys, Ellis and Eric, whose job it is to pull the wagon. And they're currently being mishandled by their owner. As a fruit and veg vendor, Clarissa really struggles with the donkeys. She thinks the only good place for an animal is on the plate for eating. An attitude which extends to her husband, Elmond, who drives her crazy when they're travelling between towns. If it's not that donkey's having a rest, that it's him nagging and moaning about the journey. Bernadine is hired muscle. Bernadine, experienced adventurer, until took arrow in knee. The rest stop is located next to the 8th milestone on the road down from the town toward the village. And although it's called a milestone, in actual fact, these milestones have been placed very inaccurately. They're about 1.5 miles each, so this is 12 miles from the town of Foreshadow upon Geek. From this point on, the road is open and there's no more fence. The road quality deteriorates as the road continues to follow the river all the way to Generic Village, another 3 milestones down the road. But the road branches here and crosses a little ford known as Midget Troll Bridge.
So these are our adventurers coming from the town. And these adventurers, of course, are you. So now it's time to introduce who you'll be playing. This is Thespian, the tiefling sorcerer, with his pseudo-dragon, Rainbow.
I am such a great actor!
Rulebook, the human monk.
I do 4d4 damage plus 95.
DM, the half-elf rogue.
Goodbye.
Nameless, the human ranger, and of course, his loyal dog, Dog. Wallflower, the halfling bard.
Oh, I just love it when a scene's about me. Oh, wait, no. I said that out loud. Oh my god. No, now people are looking. Oh, I hate it when a scene's about me.
And finally, Mary Sue, the human paladin.
This entire quest ought to be consistent with my 85-page backstory.
Our encounter in this video brings our players to a seemingly good place to cross the river. However, it appears like a strange fairy, a midget troll, is blocking the way.
Hey, listen,
Says the midget troll.
you must appease me in order to cross the river, or you will surely die.
I am Thespian, a great storyteller. Would you be appeased by
a fantastic joke or several?
Oh, yes. I love jokes.
Welcome to the first encounter of our amazing world's biggest role-playing game, possibly, depending on the view count below. Now, in order to do this, what we're going to have to do to get past the Midget Troll is tell jokes. You will find a link in the description below to a Facebook post that might well be languishing empty with absolutely no attention, but hopefully it's got lots of jokes from you, because for every joke you tell, that's one less point of damage onto the party. We'll be the judge. If you make us laugh, then we're not going to do any damage onto the party. You will also find in the Facebook group links to the character sheet summary things. But that's not the only option we're getting today. There is more encounter inspiration coming up in this video. Now, let me explain what will happen, because you have other options than telling jokes. Telling jokes gets you across the river, and at the end of the video, you can decide if that's what you want to do. It's entirely up to you. You get to decide. You can even create a poll option yourself. In this particular encounter, however, if you annoy Midget Troll and try and cross or attack, the moment you enter that water, she will cast boiling water and make the river hot. Really, really hot, like D8 damage per turn kind of hot, like a heat metal spell for the armour you're wearing. You'll have to take that off, it'll glow red hot, you'll die! But if you manage to appease the Midget Troll, she will make the bridge reappear, teleporting it back into existence so that you can cross over safely. If you manage to cross the river, then the road continues to the mountain ranges beyond. These mountains feature 11 peaks. They're often called Mountain Peak 11, after the 11th peak, the tallest of them all. A peak that goes up so far that no one has ever climbed to the summit. It's off beyond the clouds. Nobody has even seen the peak. There are rumours of giants. These stone archways extend across the landscape for miles, including this one in the river here that got turned to rubble years ago. And they all connect to this stone circle. And beyond this stone circle, they fan out again in another direction. Along this line of stone archways are ley lines, extremely powerful magical conduits, which all congregate on this circle. Rumour has it that magic cast directly on a ley line is much more powerful, but can potentially go catastrophically wrong. The circle itself shimmers with blue, dazzling lights on any moonless night. And within the circle, the trees themselves are rumoured to talk. And should any adventurer come here and bring with them weapons or malcontent, the trees themselves advance on the circle and whip and lash at anyone who wishes harm upon the Druids within. In the old days, the Druidic order was organised into a hierarchy, and for Druids to climb the hierarchy, they had to fight battles against the other Druids. There could only be one Druid at the top, and 2 Druids of the next tier down, and 4 of the tier below that. And if you wanted to up your rank within the circle of Druids, you had to kill the Druid above you. Those druidic contests would take place within the confines of the magical circle, where all the ley lines of the earth converged to increase the power. In there were once dramatic fights. The Druidic order is gone now. There's nothing left of it, so it is rumoured and believed. Either that, or they have had to move their practice on, for the damage done to the land means that spells cast in this area could actually crack the earth. So much raw contest and raw power has been channeled here in anger that the earth would break if another spell were cast. Bear that in mind as you're adventuring through. These ley lines are incredibly powerful, but the consequences could be incredibly dramatic. This ancient rock on the edge of the Druid circle denotes the beginning of Druidic territory. Once upon a time, This stone circle was right at the very edge of their lands. Strangely, you would think a temple such as this would be in the centre, but the ley lines didn't work like that. The exact logic of the Druidic order has been lost to time, and on the other side of this stone marker, there is nothing written. And what is beyond is plains, these days filled with giant predatory cats. Surely something must lie on the other side, but nobody has been bold enough to travel across there in some time. The plains go for a long way, and those cats are ferocious. Although the temple's on the far side of the river, it is visible from the road. It's a ruin these days. The ley line passes out across the land, covering the corner of the temple. The temple itself acts as a conduit for the magical energies that charge through this part of the land. So much so that the mosses and lichen which have come to overgrow within this place can actually move and, if threatened, attack. If they do attack, then they might well reveal this trapdoor that was previously hidden underneath the lichen. Its edges are surrounded with little fungus and mushrooms of various kinds. Something is beneath there. From this ancient crucible, if you do manage to climb up there, because the stairs are now long gone, but you should be able to see the town up north. I wonder what would happen if you cast a spell from within this dome. The metal cage might nullify magic, but it could actually be the conduit around which all the magic on the ley line is focused.
So now it's up to you. You decide where you go, what you do, who you're going to encounter. We've left a link in the description below to our Facebook page with a poll which will already have a few suggestions. How about traipsing up to the mountains, or will you maybe explore the dungeon some more? You can also add your own should you come up with an idea that we haven't yet thought of. The choice with the most votes is what's going to go in our next video, and that will be our next Encounters idea.
The next episode of this series will be when we get around to making it, but in 2 to 4 weeks' time, hopefully. We have busy weekends these days, and lots of mega gaming going on.
But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. We have been a pair of geeks.
Please subscribe!